Yo, what's up? My name is Petrowski MTG, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my picks on some pre-modern cards to pick up before they spike. I got really lucky in 2025 and was able to pick up a playset of Phyrexian Devourer, 4 of them for about 13 bucks. I knew that I wanted to potentially play the Phyrexian Devourer combo in pre-modern. This card is now spiked up to over 60 a piece, and I had multiple different cards like this that I picked up for pre-modern in 2025. If you watch all my videos, you can see all my pickups and all my decisions on this channel. This is not financial advice. I am not, sanctioned to say this. This is just my thoughts, my opinions. One Magic player who's been playing this game for a very, very long time and loves eternal formats. These are just all my opinions. We've already seen multiple cards spike up dramatically from pre-modern and hold their prices. Phyrexian Devourer did spike up to like 100 bucks at some point and has come down to a more reasonable 50, 40 bucks, which I think is still holding. It was way too cheap before as a reserved list rare in the format at $12. For those who don't know, pre-modern has now become playable on MTGO. A lot more people have been exposed to it, and it's just a really cool format that I think people are finding out about. There was also the Powder Keg, which has spiked up tremendously from $18 back at the early start of 2025, now up to the early start of 2026 being over $100. Call of the Herd, a weird little random rare from Odyssey that spawns in some 3/3 elephants, went from being a bulk rare for many years, maybe a few up to $3 at the peak, now being a $26 card. What is this pre-modern madness? But today I will specifically be showing you guys premium versions of cards. A lot of these are foils in weird niche promos, FNM promos, judge promos, things like that that are really niche and cool that I think a lot of people don't have their eyes set on yet. So you could be kind of ahead of the crowd when it comes to looking for these items. I've been really browsing the pre-modern metagame and just going through different decks, hours and hours and hours spent browsing through different decks and strategies and figuring out what is used where. For example, Mind Stone being used in Phyrexian Devourer combos, and there's this really cool DCI promo you can actually get in Japanese if you don't mind different languages. In English, I believe it's about 13 to 15 bucks. Yeah, about 13, 15 bucks a piece in English. But if you switch over to Japanese, there's a bunch of them. One seller has 37 for about $9 a piece with free shipping. Now, I don't know, and nobody knows if these cards will actually spike up in value. I'm not here to try to rile up some fake sense of excitement. I want to be honest with you guys. I think the best reason to buy cards like this is because you do want to get into pre-modern. You are interested in pre-modern. And if I think picking these up like earlier rather than later is more of the thought process that I want to push. If you're just buying these cards to sell off for profit in the future, this may not be the channel for you. But if you want to buy some cards because you love Magic, are interested in pre-modern, and you want to get a good deal on them ahead of time and then maybe have some extras to sell off in the future, sure, I think this is the place for you. I think this Mind Stone is a perfect first example of a card that might be being overlooked, that you can pick up some cheap copies in a foreign language for cheap. Now, next up, this card I think has insane potential. This really weird arena promo Fling. This is used in the Phyrexian Devourer combo deck. It has that beautiful old border, the weird little arena logo on it. It's only about, it's a lot of money for cardboard, don't get me wrong, but for a weird niche promo only released in 2001, there is 11 listings on TCG Player right now. Right here, you can see only 11 listings, letting you know just how rare this is out there in the wild. There's many copies available for 24, 25 bucks. Picking up a playset of these would run you $100, but I think it could be a really interesting investment in the future. And it's a beautiful. I always loved this art, this original Fling art, and to see this with the foil treatment in the old border is really gorgeous. I think it's important to note that this Fling is also the only old border foil treatment of this Fling art. There are modern ones, obviously, but the original printing was in Stronghold, which did not have foils yet in Magic the Gathering. That's how old this card is. There is also this little version of Fling, which is a cool little promo, but it's not old border. It's not the original art. If you want to go for this as a budget option, please do. Most of these cards are foil treatments, and these are like under $1. So if you want a cheap copy of Fling that's still cool and, pimped out your pre-modern decks, you can do that. Don't get me wrong, but this is a beaut. Next up, Call of the Herd, the promo. Once again, a lot of foils, a lot of promos. I love that this one has the little gravestone on it to let you know that it has a flashback or graveyard effect. This card is weird. There's only 7 listings right now on TCG Player, very few up for sale, and the only near mint one being $38. The cheapest copies is $1.31, but it's actually $6 shipping, so it's more of an $8 card if we're being realistic, after taxes. This card, I think a lot of people have their eyes on it, though I will say this is probably the one with the most attention on this list already, so be careful with this one. I could see it going up and down in price and being manipulated a bit in the future. There's just so few copies out there, and we'll have to wait for more people to realize that these are going up in price and listing more of their copies into the wild. Next up, a card that I picked up a few copies of recently, Hypnotic Specter, the Magic Rewards. I think this is a Judge promo, original, I believe so. This was came out in 2006. These foil treatments are beautiful. I just got 2 of these in the mail recently, and I can confirm these foils don't curl as much as the newer cards. They really hold their quality. They were just made, the boomer thing, but it's true. Like, the quality was just better back then. Not to even take a knock at new Magic, but we all know the foil quality and the cardboard quality. There's just less cards being printed, so it's easier to put more quality into less quality, or less quantity, right? Let's be honest, right? Hypnotic Specter, only $8 to $9 for this classic foil version, premium version of this absolute classic card that a lot of us miss playing with. That's the cool part about Hypnotic Specter. Next up, let's continue forward. We have Counterspell. I have 2 different Counterspells to show you guys today. The FNM promo. I also picked up 2 copies of this. Mark Pool's art from one of the original. I love my favorite art for Counterspell personally. It's not $25. Don't worry. You can scroll down. I got my copies for about 17, I think, after shipping. Yeah, this one's the same. 15, 17. 18. There's only 2 copies there, though, for that 17, 18 price, and then it hikes up to 21. So only 31 of these available. A lot of these cards, very little supply is out there on the market for a lot of these cool pre-modern cards. And then next up, if you want a similar option, if this one's old border, the other one isn't actually old border. If you don't like the big FNM, I love the FNM foiling, but if you don't, I understand. This one is a little bit cheaper, $15. There are a lot more copies out there, 49 different copies of this, but it is a more modern card. So it's a modern, new old background, new old border. If you like that, I don't mind that. I think it's kind of fun. I obviously prefer old border, but I mean, the other one is even old border, so whatever you prefer. This one was printed in 2023, so it is definitely a much newer card. I don't know how the foiling is on this. I haven't seen one of these in person. I don't know how the foil holds up. But next up, I do have one of these, a Judge promo. I believe DCI are all Judge promo, but I could be mistaken. Mogg, correct me in the comments if I am wrong. Thank you so much. Mogg Fanatic. This is a really easy, cheap version of Mogg Fanatic. There is a more expensive Mogg Fanatic, but I'm gonna be honest, I think the ship has sailed for this one. Yes, it's beautiful. I mean, look at this. I love these old promo, old border foils. It's gorgeous. It's also $150. I don't know about you. I'll chill out $20 for a card that's actually 25 cents for a premium copy. I don't know if I can shell out $150 for a card you can buy for $1. That's premium. Shout out to the pimps out there rocking these in your pre-modern decks. Even I will pass. Thank you so much. I like this version, this copy. I think it's got a really cool, sinister artwork. The tail is a little strange. Don't get me wrong. It's going for about a few bucks, $1 to $2 after shipping. Cool card, cheap way to pimp out your pre-modern deck. Next up, I love Judge promos. More Judge promos. Grim Lavamancer. I'm shocked to see this is still as cheap as it is. They are going up a bit, actually. You can see up to like 9 or up 20% in value or so. There is still a few copies for like $3 to $6. You don't have to buy the near mint ones, obviously, but even being able to buy near mint copies of these for that price is pretty shocking. I think this was printed in 2006. A little hard to see on the little bottom left there, but pretty crazy. Still a really cool card. Plays in Burn, obviously. Mod Fanatic, Grim Lavamancer, all these cards played in literally the most played pre-modern deck, by the way. Burn right now. Burn and Stiflenaut, 2 of the most popular decks. There is, once again, a new old border copy of Grim Lavamancer. If you don't mind that, if you like that printing, really cheap, man. Under $1 for these. You can pick up a lot of really cool pre-modern cards for decently cheap. And then next up, I love this card. I've owned a foil copy of this card for the longest time. I actually used to play 1 copy of this in a High Tide Reset in Legacy, because I think it's a really cool card. I had 1 copy of it for the longest time. I've stuffed it in as a one of in certain Legacy decks for a little bit of fun, a little bit of flavor. And now it was a $1 foil for the longest time. And now it's like, $15, $25 depending on which printing, what condition it's in. There's only 9 listings of these. This is an uncommon from Judgment, a set from 2002. There's 9 listings available. The cheapest one going for about $13, but then it hikes up to 17, and then up to 17, 18, and then up to 25. So it really does crank up there in value pretty quickly for how few copies are out there. Flash of Insight, a very cool blue card, a cool little I think this card will see more pre-modern play as people kind of discover it. I think a lot of people just don't know about it. That flashback cost, the original cast is whatever, X one in a blue to look at the top X cards of your library and put one into your hand. That's not great, right? But to flashback and be able to remove X blue cards from your graveyard, it's like Delve essentially back in the day. Like this is really, really sick and really gives you some nice gas as a final stretch for combo decks in that later game. Probably the card that I almost didn't put on this list to recommend to you guys the most. I want to put that out there. Goblin Lackey. I just love Mystery Booster 2. I feel like it's a really cool set, really under opened because it was so expensive, like $250 a box, but it has so many good cards, so many cool. There was only one foil per box if I recall, so also like having a foil from this set alone is very, very rare, and this being a Goblin Lackey, maybe it was only one foil rare. I could be wrong. It was a weird set. I've talked about it before in previous videos. This being like 17, 18, 19 bucks is really fucking sick, really beautiful. I like the Future Sight border. Not everybody does. It is from Mystery Booster 2, not Future Sight. It's the border. Really cool card. Goblin Lackey. Goblins, one of the more played decks as well in Premodern, which is why I bring up the original foil printing of Skirk Prospector. The original printing, old border from Onslaught back in 2002. How is this card only $13? How can I go pick up a foil copy of this? Like, one of the coolest goblins, might I add. Like, the goblin that cranks up your mana. You sacrifice. Like, this is one of my favorite goblins in all of Magic. Like, and I think this art is so sick. He finds the gem, he's like obsessed with it, like it's almost like a Lord of the Rings type vibe where he's getting like super interested, you know, in this little shiny thing, you know, the ring, right? I love this beautiful card. There are 44 listings, 44 copies. You know, it's not super scarce, but it's still like not, you know, plentiful. Really beautiful card. I can't believe the original full printing is only 14 bucks. This feels, I know it's a common from Onslaught, don't get me wrong, and this was the set with like fetch lands, like original, you know, original fetch lands, polluted delta, those foiling. So people do open these a bit, but they're also super expensive because of that, right? So man, it's a super cool card. Can't believe that original printing is that cheap. And then Anarchy, this was a I actually just didn't close this tab. Really beautiful card. Didn't mean to mention that, but you know what, that's our final card that we wanted to talk about today. Just a really pretty card. No foil treatment, no premium. This was an accident, but whatever, go pick it up. It's a beautiful card. Pick it up if you want to. If this is the card you picked up from this video, let me know in the comments, because that would be hilarious. It was just a mistake. I was just looking at this card. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you found this video helpful, entertaining, informative in some way. Make sure to like it if you did, dislike if you didn't, and leave me a comment explaining what I got wrong or how I can improve in the future. Please do it politely. I am just a guy. I try my best to make some fun little Magic videos for the hobby that I enjoy, you know? Subscribe if you want to see more Magic videos. I do want to upload at least once a week. Ideally more than that would be fantastic. Trying to go for 1,000 subscribers in 2026 would be awesome. Just hopefully you guys find this valuable to you. Have a great day. I will see you later, but for now, peace, Reno.